I like horror films, yeah, I think they're great. It's good when you're in a group and you can watch them together.
I do quite like tense thrillers, but I don't like overly gory.
I always like make myself watch them, but I don't really like them.
I love them.
I really like horror movies, like my favourite type of film.
Some are good, some are bad. Right, I like the ones where it's in present day because I can relate to it more. I don't like all where they're set in the olden days.
I like the build-up of drama and tension in them. And I think it's good that the director can capture the audience.
I like them afterwards. Like, it's not something I enjoy at the time. It's something that I look back afterwards and I'm like, I enjoyed that.
I like them, but like they're not my favourite genre.
Not a lot, maybe about once every couple of months.
I usually like watching them in the cinema because it's like more people.
Twice a month?
Yeah.
Maybe 3 times a month.
Every few months.
I'd say the last horror movie that I watched was a couple of months ago.
Say which one every like month. Depends. Halloween time I watched about 8.
Like every week.
Shaun of the Dead and last year.
Watched a bit of Freddy Krueger. Not scared the living dead, that's safe for me.
I saw Sinister about 2 months ago. Dawn of the Dead, and it was a few weeks ago.
It was Targets and I watched that like yesterday.
Woman in Black.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers. We started watching it film studies. It looks like it's going to be good.
Saw The Orphan this week.
I've got 3, I watched them in the same week. There's that Eels one.
I'm gonna say Shaun of the Dead, and that was about 3 months ago.
Woman in Black, and there was The Uninvited, I think it was called.
Generally, someone has to die. There has to be some form of chase scene, and then someone gets brutally murdered in some interesting manner.
Fast paced.
Some action that would keep me gripped, to keep my attention and make me want to watch the rest of it.
A lot of gore, depending on the movie. Like, if it's something horror, it's got to have gore in it.
That's the bit where you like establish the interest, so it's got it kind of a bit scary but not like bam in your face, terrifying at first.
I think I like to set the scene and you know what you're going to get.
Lots of mist and dark scenes.
Like, loads of dramatic music scenes.
Scream.
The Woman in Black, because you don't actually see what it is, you always see like the main actor looking at the corner of his eyes.
The Orphan, because it's psychologically disturbing and it's about kids who turn psycho, so I love it. And there's lots of blood and gore.
My favourite horror movie is probably Dawn of the Dead, just because it's really good and I enjoyed it.
Again, Zomcoms, but Zombieland, because that's just like, they took Shaun of the Dead and then they made it American, and it was pretty good.
Is Final Destination a horror film? Yeah. I love it so much. It's just so funny seeing heads, like, you just don't know what's coming.
Yeah, The Shining.
I did like Sinister because it was kind of jumpy, but it had these really like dark moments as well, where like people got burnt alive in a car and lovely such events.
There was someone getting murdered in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it sets the scene and you know what you're going to get. It's like creepy dolls and like 3 people jump out the window.
The opening sequence was about the family, and then the like zombie apocalypse started to happen, so I obviously knew what type of film it was straight away and what to expect from it. In number 1 it's the Flight 180 thing, I can't remember which one number 2 is, and in number 3 it's the roller coaster thing. Well, it's dead dramatic because they all have premonitions.
They're good.
Yeah.
It was completely normal in it, but also weird. Like, it felt like they were going on a normal holiday, but because of the music you knew that something was wrong.
With Sinister, it was like they were all hanging from this tree and you had no idea why or anything. And then it went back and solved that mystery at the end of the film, and I really liked that because it was kind of really horrible way to open it, but then it went and told you why, and that was good.
Long shots to show a scene.
I don't know, we always see to build the tension, like a little bit of a slow opening, just setting the scene a bit like an undercurrent of negative atmosphere.
Dull lights.
Lots of fast cuts, dark scenes and close-ups.
Good music, because it always builds tension and atmosphere.
You like set like the main character so you know who they're going to be.
A lot of screaming, piano music, violin.
Screams.
Lots of screaming,
Law cards, like era and like mysterious.
Tense.
Strings.
Like no, not just yet. Like
Screams. I disagree with the music. I think it should be silent because that like is really creepy because you don't like you're expecting there to be something that you hear but there isn't.
I'd say minimal music in a horror piece, like because sometimes the scariest things are just like people panting and then just like some kind of animalistic noise.
Really quiet ones, but just so they're audible when everything's being silent.
Like over-exaggerated sound effects.
Sound effects such as like breathing and footsteps and stuff.
What always gets me is when they have that door creaking one. Do you know what I mean?
Or when they step on a step.
It goes through me. It's horrible.
On a floorboard.
Yeah.
It's like lots of like.
Even if it's not related to the film, that just scares me so
Like
much.
everyday noises that you make scary.
Not many props and just stuff that you wouldn't feel out of the ordinary.
Just normal life, just, you know, general clothes.
If it's a modern day, because if it's modern then you want to see what you're wearing, or if it's an old-fashioned one, you want to see the costumes that fit to the era.
if it's present day, you'd expect to see them wearing something normal.
But like the woman in black, she's got like that long dress.
Yeah, but
thing,
it-
that black one.
Because
Yeah.
you need to get it so that people can relate to it, right? So I think the best ones are either in present day, because Woman in Black, that was set in a different time era, so they're obviously going to be wearing different clothes. You want it to
But
be
also
normal.
you know where it is because of that, because of the costumes
Yeah.
and stuff. Like you know exactly where you are.
So it all depends on what time era she's setting in, because that depends on the clothing.
Dark clothing, maybe completely white clothing as well.
Lots of grotesque makeup.
Lots of weapons and blood and gore and stuff.
Like it's good when things are made iconic, like the Scream mask is because of the Scream films. Everybody kind of recognises that, so you could make it an icon.
Crosses, it's like a vampire one, or like old houses for like ghosts.
Maybe an object that's supposed to be scary or something.
Probably the one running away.
Ones that are really silly and run up the stairs when someone breaks into the house.
A damsel in distress.
Don't know what to relate to. Maybe the most scared person there.
Someone who's normal.
I think he means like present day teenagers.
And then just the regular guy, just, you know, your average Joe who gets killed off in the middle of the piece because he can't die at the beginning, because that space is reserved for the non-story character, and then you got all the good characters staying on after the end.
Average people.
People like me that are going through like odd circumstances that aren't nice, because that's what adds like that edge of paranoia when you go home at night and you're thinking, yeah, well that could happen to me.
Something in a
could
similar
happen to you.
situation to you.
In an environment that's typical to that character.
Probably like before like the horror actually starts.
You need to know like the victims really well, I think. You need to really get into what they're about type thing.
Being social and just living normal lives. Have the world turned upside down.